I dropped my keys on the counter and reached for the glass of water I had poured earlier. My day had been long, filled with client calls and endless spreadsheets. I wanted peace, not drama. Clara, however, was already standing in the middle of the living room in a fitted black dress, heels still on, lips painted dark red. "I have something to tell you," she said. I took a sip, barely glancing up. "Can it wait until I change?" Her tone cut sharper. "No, you need to hear this. Now." That edge in her voice pulled me straight. "All right. What is it?" She lifted her chin like she had practiced the moment in a mirror. "I'm pregnant, and you're the father." The glass nearly slipped from my hand. "You're what? Her?" Smile spread wider. "Pregnant. We're having a baby, Liam." I stared at her, trying to ground myself. "You didn't even mention being late. No morning sickness? Nothing." "I didn't want to worry you until I was sure," she replied smoothly, stepping closer. "But now it's real. This is our future." My pulse pounded in my ears. "When? Did you find out this morning?" She touched my chest lightly. "I took the test right after you left for work." "And you didn't call? You waited all day to drop this on me?" Her eyes glittered. "Because I wanted to see your face when I told you. I wanted us to share this moment together. Clara, this isn't a surprise party. This is life-changing." She looped her arms around my neck, pressing her body against mine. "It changes everything for the better. You and me, forever." The warmth of her skin made my body react, but my mind screamed warning. "We haven't even talked about moving in together properly." "Yeah, you're saying we're having a child?" "Yes," she whispered, lips brushing my jaw. "It means you're mine. It means no one can tear us apart." I gripped her wrists and pulled her arms down. "That doesn't sound like love, Clara. That sounds like control." She flinched, then forced a wounded expression. "Why would you say that? This is the happiest day of my life." "I'm not saying it isn't possible. I'm saying it's sudden. I need more than your word." "You think I'm lying?" Her voice rose, sharp with offense. "I think we need proof. A doctor's visit, an ultrasound, something." Her lips curved into a sly smile. "You really doubt me?" "ED?" "To be sure," I said firmly. She paced the room in quick strides. Most men would drop to their knees in gratitude. You question me? After everything I've given you? What you've given me?" I frowned. "Clara, we've had good moments. Bailey, you've been unpredictable, controlling. This feels staged." Her hands flew to her hips. "You think I planned this?" "Don't know what to think," I admitted. "But your timing, your sudden mood swings, the way you're springing this on MIT doesn't add up." Her voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. "Do you want to lose me? Because questioning me like this is exactly how you lose me?" I rubbed my temples, exhausted. "This isn't about losing you. It's about honesty. If you're carrying my child, I'll take responsibility. But don't demand blind faith." She stormed up to me, eyes blazing. "Then marry me, tonight. Promise me your future, and I'll give you mine." I shook my head slowly. "That's not how this works. We don't decide our entire lives in a single evening." "You're afraid," she spat. "You've always been afraid of happiness. I'm offering you everything, and you're running from it." I clenched my jaw. "I'm not afraid. I'm cautious because this doesn't feel right." She softened, instantly, her voice turning silky. "Baby, I know you. You overthink. You second guess. But deep down, you want this. You want me. You want us." Her hand slid across my chest again, nails trailing over the fabric of my shirt. Her touch sent sparks through me, but the weight of her words crushed any thrill. I caught her hand and pulled it away. "I won't be cornered into this." Tears welled in her eyes, though her voice stayed hard. "You'll regret doubting me." The room went silent, only her ragged breathing breaking through. I looked into her eyes, searching for sincerity, but all I saw was determination, cold, unyielding. Finally, she dug into her purse, pulled out a stick, and thrust it into my hand. A faint blue line ran across it. "There," she said, eyes locking on mine. "Proof. Now say it. Promise me you'll marry me. Asterisk. Clara wrapped her arms around me from behind as I tried to tie my tie. You look so serious, she whispered. Against my neck. I have a meeting, Clara. I need to focus. Oh, she pressed her chest into my back. Your focus should be on me, especially now. I pulled away gently. And you've been glued to me since last night. I need some air. She pouted, leaning against the doorframe in her silk robe. Air. I'm carrying your child, Liam. You should want me close. I met her eyes in the mirror. I said I'd be here. I haven't gone anywhere. You don't sound excited. I'm cautious. That's different. Her expression hardened. You think I'd lie about this? I didn't say that. But you don't have to. I can see it in your face. I grabbed my jacket. We'll talk tonight. I can't be late. Her voice followed me out the door. Don't make me regret loving you. At lunch I met Gareth at a pub near the office. It was already halfway through his pint when I slid into the booth. You look like hell, he said. I set my tie loose. Clara told me she's pregnant. His eyes widened. Bloody hell. Congratulations. Don't start. Something's off. She's acting different, touchy, controlling, and she hasn't booked a doctor's appointment. Gareth leaned in. You're saying she might be faking it? I don't know. But she's posting photos of us on her socials without asking, calling me her future husband. It feels like she's branding me. He shook his head. Mate, if she's lying, that's a trap. Classic play. Lock you down, force you into marriage. I told her I need proof. She threw a test at me, said that was enough. Was it? It looked real. But anyone can buy those online. Gareth smirked bitterly. You always go for the ones who burn bright and burn dangerous. Remember, Sophie from uni. Same storm, different face. I scowled. Don't compare Clara to Sophie. Why not? You ignored the red flags then. Don't do it again. I rubbed my temples. I just need clarity. If she's telling the truth, I'll step up. But if she's not, then you cut her loose before she ruins you. I sighed. It's not that simple. It is, he said firmly. You're either building a life together or she's dragging you into hers. Think about that. Evening. Clara was waiting on the sofa, hair curled, phone in hand. She smiled too widely when I walked in. You didn't answer my texts. I was busy. I counted. 5 hours without a word. I had back-to-back meetings. You know my schedule. She rose and walked over, placing her hand on my chest. I hate when you're away from me. Clara, you have to give me space. Her lips curved into a sly smile. But I like being close. Don't you? She leaned in, her breath warm against my cheek. The heat of her presence stirred me, but underneath was a knot of unease. I stepped back. We need to talk about the doctor. Her smile vanished. What? Again, yes. Again, we need confirmation. If you're pregnant, we should schedule an appointment. She crossed her arms. Why don't you trust me? Because you keep dodging simple questions. Her eyes narrowed. Maybe I don't like being interrogated in my own home. This isn't an interrogation. It's common sense. You think I'm lying. Think we need proof. That's it. Her face crumpled into tears. Do you know how cruel that sounds? You should be holding me, not doubting me. I softened my tone. I'm not trying to hurt you. I just need the truth. She turned away, shoulders shaking. You're supposed to protect me. Instead, you make me feel alone. I hesitated, torn between guilt and suspicion. I don't want you to feel alone. Then stop pushing me away. She spun and wrapped her arms around my neck, lips brushing mine. I kissed her back, but the unease didn't fade. It only grew sharper, like a voice in my head warning me to run. Later that night, Lara finally drifted off beside me, her breathing slow and steady. I stared at the ceiling, my mind restless. Every touch, every word, felt like it carried another agenda. I turned carefully, reaching for her phone on the nightstand. My chest pounded as I unlocked it with her thumb. Her messages lit up the screen. At first, it was harmless chatter with friends. Then I froze. A text from a contact labeled simply, Kay, does he believe you yet? My breath caught in my throat. I sat on the edge of the bed, Clara's phone still heavy in my hand. That text glared at me. Does he believe you yet? My stomach twisted. I locked the phone, placed it back, and stared at the ceiling until dawn. By morning, I couldn't hold it. Who's Kay? I asked while she was pouring coffee. Her eyes flicked up. What? Your messages. Someone texted, asking if I believed you. The mug clinked against the counter. You went through my phone? Answer me. She crossed her arms. Kay is a friend. Had no right to snoop. That's not an answer. Her nostrils flared. You don't trust me, do you? Not when I see texts like that. She slammed the mug down. You're paranoid. Should be thanking me for giving you a family, not interrogating me like a criminal. I'm asking because it matters, Clara. If you're lying, you're playing. With my life? Her eyes filled with tears, quick and dramatic. You think I'm that cruel? I clenched my jaw. I think you're hiding something. She stepped closer, gripping my shirt. I'm hiding nothing. I'm carrying your child. Then prove. I already did. One stick in your hand isn't proof. Take me to the doctor. Let me hear it from them. Her lips trembled, but her tone sharpened. Why should I humiliate myself just to satisfy your doubt? 'Cause this is bigger than doubt. This is my future, our future. She grabbed my face suddenly and kissed me hard, desperate, pulling me against her. Her tears mixed with her lipstick. Her body pressed tight against mine. Stop fighting me, she whispered between kisses. Stop questioning everything. Just love me. I pushed her back, breath shaking. Love isn't blind obedience. Her eyes turned cold. You're mine whether you like it or not. The words chilled me straight through. I backed toward the door. That's not how love works, Clara, she screamed, throwing the mug against the wall. You don't get to leave me, not now. I walked out before I could change my mind. I met Gareth at his flat that evening. He handed me a beer without a word. You look like you've seen a ghost, he said finally. I might have. I told him everything. The text, her reaction, the kiss, her words. He whistled low. Mate, that's obsession, not love. I keep thinking maybe she's just scared. Maybe she doesn't know how to handle it. She's handling it by trapping you. You're letting her. I can't just walk away if she's pregnant. And if she's not? The question hung between us. I rubbed my forehead. If she's not, then I've been a fool. You're not a fool, Gareth said. You're just desperate to believe someone loves you. But real love doesn't come with threats. I stared at the beer bottle. What do I do? You get proof? Is that if she refuses, you know your answer? When I got back home, Clara was on the sofa, eyes red. She looked up the second I entered. Where were you, at Gareth's? Of course, letting him poison you against me. He's worried about me. He's jealous. He doesn't want you happy. This isn't about Gareth. It's always about him. He hates me. He doesn't trust you. Eyes narrowed. And now, neither do you. I sat across from her. I want to trust you, but trust needs honesty. Take me to a doctor. End this doubt. She shook her head fiercely. You don't dictate how I handle my body. It's not what I'm doing. I just need proof. She stood pacing like a caged animal. Do you think I'm lying? You think I'd invent a child to keep you? Did you? She froze, staring at me like I had slapped her. Then she lunged forward, grabbing my hand. Don't ever say that again. I love you. I need you. Why can't you just accept that? Because it feels like a cage, Clara. Not love. A cage. Her tears spilled fast, streaking down her face. She clutched me like I was the last person on earth. Don't leave me. Please. I can't breathe without you. I pulled free. Love shouldn't feel like suffocation. Shut myself in the bedroom and locked the door. The next morning, I dragged myself into work, exhausted. My phone buzzed with a new email from an address I didn't recognize. No subject line. It's just one attachment. I hesitated, then opened it. Medical records filled. The screen. A name, Clara's. Test results. Clear as day. Not pregnant? My chest went tight. Door. The room spun. Someone out there wanted me to know the truth. Asterisk, the email still burned in my head when I walked through the door. Clara was waiting. Her voice cut through. The silence. Why are you looking at me like that? You lied, I said. She blinked rapidly. What are you talking about? I know the truth. You're not pregnant. Her face hardened. Who told you that? It doesn't matter. I saw the records. Her hand shook as she grabbed a vase from the table. You went digging through my life again? You're sick. I was desperate. You left me no choice. She hurled the vase. It exploded against the wall, shards scattering across the floor. You bastard, she screamed. After everything I gave you, you call me a liar. I'm not calling you anything. The proof is there. Her chest heaved as she pointed at me. Can just walk away? After I gave you my body, my love, my soul, I took a step back. Love isn't a cage. Her knees buckled. She collapsed on the carpet, sobbing so hard it sounded like choking. Don't leave me, she pleaded, clawing at her hair. I'll die without you. Please, I'll change. I'll do anything. Just don't go. I crouched, torn between pity and rage. Clara, listen to yourself. She reached for my hand. Look at me. Look at what you're throwing away. No one will love you like I do. For a heartbeat, I almost believed her. Her mascara-streaked face, her trembling lips. The raw beauty of her brokenness, it nearly pulled me under. But then I remembered her words. You're mine whether you like it or not. I stood, forcing my voice steady. I can't stay. She clutched at my legs, sobbing harder. Don't do this, please. I'll be better. I swear. I peeled her hands away and walked out. My chest felt split open, every step like tearing flesh. Her screams followed me down the hall. You'll regret this. You'll regret leaving me. I didn't look back. The days that followed felt like crawling through smoke. My flat was quiet, but the silence pressed on me like a weight. I barely slept. Every night I heard her voice in my head, pleading, accusing, seducing. One evening my boss dragged me to a company dinner. I almost skipped, but something inside me craved noise, light, life. That's when I noticed her. Sophie, she sat across the table, laughing at something a colleague said. Her laugh wasn't forced. It was soft, genuine, like fresh air after a storm. I couldn't stop watching her. At one point our eyes met. She smiled, kind but curious. I leaned forward. Haven't met properly. I'm Daniel. Sophie, she said, shaking my hand. I just started last week. You chose a strange time to join. Everyone's drowning in deadlines. She chuckled. I like challenges. There was no edge in her voice. There's no manipulation, no demand. Just calm. As the dinner went on, we kept drifting into our own conversation. So what made you take this job? I asked. She tilted her head. I wanted a place where I could grow. Somewhere I wouldn't just be another cog. Rare to hear. Most people just want the paycheck. Her smile widened. Of course I want that too, but I want to feel seen. Those words struck me. I swallowed, my throat suddenly dry. Do you? I asked softly. Feel seen here? Looked straight into my eyes. Right now, yes. My chest tightened, but it wasn't the suffocating grip Clara gave me. It was lighter, hopeful. We laughed more than I thought possible for one night. I forgot the weight of the past weeks, forgot the screaming, the lies. When the dinner ended, Sophie touched my arm gently. It was really nice talking to you. Was, I said too quickly. Her cheeks flushed, and she slipped away into the night. For the first time in weeks, my pulse raced not from fear but from possibility. I got home smiling for the first time in months. But the moment I reached my building, the smile vanished. Clara stood by the door. Her hair was wild, her eyes swollen from crying. She looked like a ghost clinging to the last of her power. Daniel, she whispered, please, we can fix this. Froze Clara. What are you doing here? I need you. You can't just walk away. You're mine. I'm not yours. Not anymore. She stepped closer, tears dripping off her chin.
You'll regret leaving me. I'll ruin you if you...
Go. The words cut sharper than glass. I barely slept after Clara's threat outside my flat. By morning, my phone lit up with her messages. Answer me, Daniel. You can't run from this. She'll never replace me. I shoved the phone into my pocket, but the words stayed. At work, I tried to keep my head down. Then Sophie walked past my desk, smiling like nothing in the world could touch her. "Morning," she said. Her voice steadied me. "Morning." She tilted her head. "Rough night." I could say that. Her eyes softened. "Want to talk?" I hesitated, then nodded. "After work? Coffee?" Her smile widened. "I'd like that." We found a quiet cafe tucked away from the rush. The scent of roasted beans filled the air as we sat by the window. Sophie leaned forward. "So, rough night. Well, tell me." I rubbed the back of my neck. "It's complicated. Complicated usually means painful. It is." She waited, patient. "Not pressing. There was someone," I said carefully. "It got toxic. She lied to me, manipulated me, and now she won't let go." Sophie's brows knitted. "She's still in your life?" "She shows up where I live. She sends threats. She makes promises she can't keep." "That's not love, Daniel. That's control." Her words cut through me, sharper than anything Clara ever said. "You sound sure of that?" I murmured. "I've seen it. My sister dated a guy like that. It almost destroyed her. I won't pretend I know everything about you, but I know the difference between love and possession." I met her eyes. They didn't waver. "You're easy to talk to," I admitted. "I'm glad. I don't like seeing people carry storms alone." Her hand brushed mine on the table, light as a whisper. Heat rushed through me. "Sophie," I said, my voice unsteady. She smiled gently. "It's just coffee, Daniel, but if you need a friend, I'm here." I wanted to believe her words meant only friendship. But when her fingers lingered on mine, I knew it was more. The days turned into weeks. Stolen moments with Sophie became my lifeline. A late night at the office, just the two of us finishing reports. She leaned back in her chair, sighing. "You're working too hard," she teased. "So are you," she laughed. "Maybe, but it feels different with you here." Her laugh filled the room, softening the fluorescent glare. Another night, rain poured. Outside, we ducked under the same umbrella, shoulders brushing as we walked toward the train. She shivered. "You're cold," I said. "I'll survive." I pulled her closer, my arm tightening around her. She didn't pull away. Her head rested. Lightly against my shoulder, my heart pounded. It wasn't lust. It wasn't desperation. It was warmth, safety. Everything Clara never gave me. But Clara knew. She always knew. One evening, she called while I sat beside Sophie in the break room. I didn't answer. A second call. Then a third. Sophie frowned. "You should pick up." "Maybe. It's important, isn't?" I muttered. The phone buzzed again with a message. I opened it before I could stop myself. I saw her, the little girl with the fake smile. "Does she know what you're really like?" My blood ran cold. Sophie's hand touched my arm. "Daniel, you're pale. What happened?" "Nothing," I lied, pocketing the phone. "It's nothing." But it wasn't nothing. Clara had noticed Sophie, and that meant danger. 2 days later, I walked into the office lobby and froze. Clara stood there. Perfectly dressed, her lipstick sharp, her eyes blazing. Sophie was just leaving the lift, her bag slung over her shoulder. She slowed, noticing Clara. "Daniel," Sophie said lightly. "You didn't tell me we had visitors?" Clara turned, her gaze locking onto Sophie with venom. "You must be her," Clara said. Sophie blinked. "Excuse me?" "The one who thinks she can take what's mine." I stepped forward quickly. "Clara, stop." Sophie looked between us. "Daniel, what is this?" Clara sneered. "It's exactly what it looks like. He's mine. And you're a pathetic little distraction." Sophie straightened, her voice calm but firm. "I don't know what you're talking about. Don't play innocent." Clara's voice shook with fury. "Stay away from him or else." Her words echoed through the lobby. People turned to stare. My stomach twisted. This wasn't just obsession anymore. It was Ward * rain hit the windows and sheets, blurring the city lights outside. I stayed at my desk long after everyone else left, staring at the glow of my monitor without seeing a thing. Clara's voice from the lobby replayed in my head like a siren I couldn't turn off. "Stay away from him, or else. I rubbed my face with my hands, willing it to fade. Daniel? I looked up. Sophie stood in the doorway, holding her coat, her hair damp from the storm. You're still here? She asked. Couldn't concentrate at home? Her eyes softened. Because of her, I nodded. She doesn't stop. Sophie walked closer. Then don't sit here drowning in it alone. You hesitated, then shut the laptop. Want to grab? Dinner? We found a small restaurant near the office, dim lights flickering across wooden tables. The storm outside muffled the world, leaving just the two of us. Sophie stirred her tea slowly. You're quieter than usual, I'm thinking. About Clara. Yes, about what she'll do next. She's everywhere. Online, my phone, even outside my building. That isn't just obsession, Daniel. It's dangerous. Back. I know. I keep waiting for her to stop, but she only pushes harder. Sophie reached across the table, her hand brushing mine. You don't have to face her alone. My throat tightened. You're risking too much by even sitting here with me. She's already targeting you. I'm not afraid of her, Sophie said firmly. She thrives on fear. If you give her that, she wins. I stared at her, struck by the steadiness in her voice. You're strong, I said quietly. Her lips curved into a small smile. Stronger than I look. The warmth of her fingers lingered against mine until the waitress arrived, breaking the moment. Still the connection hung between us, impossible to ignore. Later that night, the rain hadn't stopped. She insisted on walking me back, her umbrella barely shielding us from the downpour. We reached my building, and I hesitated at the door. Thank you, I said. For what? For being here? For not running the other way? She stepped closer, her voice low. Maybe I should be the one thanking you. You make me feel safe. Her arms wrapped around me, pulling me into a tight embrace. The dampness of her coat pressed against mine, her breath warm against my neck. You deserve better, Daniel, she whispered. So much better. My pulse thundered. I wanted to tilt her chin up, close the distance between us, drown in the sweetness waiting on her lips. But I froze. If I kiss you, I whispered, I don't think I'll be able to stop. Her gaze lifted, searching my face. Then maybe you shouldn't hold back. I stepped back suddenly, my chest heaving. I can't. Not yet. Too complicated. She nodded, though her eyes glistened. I understand, but I knew she felt the same electricity I did. It sparked between us, alive, undeniable. Days blurred together, but Clara never let me breathe. One night my phone lit. Up at 2 a.m., I answered before I could think. You think you can replace me? Her voice slurred. Everyone's going to know who you really are. I'll make sure of it. Clara, stop this. You're destroying yourself. You destroyed me first. The call cut off. My chest ached. Sleep never came. The next morning, Sophie noticed immediately. You didn't rest, she said. No, she called again. I nodded. Sophie's jaw tightened. You shouldn't answer anymore. She'll find another way to get to me. Then we find a way to block her out. Together. Her determination made something stir inside me, something I hadn't felt in a long time. Hope we stayed late again, this time at her place. She made tea, the steam curling between us as we sat on her couch. I don't get it, I said. Why are you doing this? You barely know me, and yet you're here, carrying half my storm. Her voice was calm. Because I see the man behind. You're not what she says. You're kind. You're hurting. But you're trying to do the right thing. That matters. Shook my head. You make me sound better than I am. No, I just see what's real. The silence stretched, but it wasn't heavy. It was charged. Her eyes never left mine, her hand resting close enough that I could feel the warmth. I leaned forward, my voice barely a whisper. Sophie? Yes. Want this to be simple, but nothing about my life is simple right now. Then don't make promises, she said softly. Just be honest. I want you, I admitted. Her lips parted, her breath catching. Then take my hand. Did. My fingers curling around hers. It felt right. It's like something I'd been searching for without knowing. But Clara's shadow stretched into every corner. I saw her posts online. angry rants about betrayal, long threads filled with accusations. My name wasn't there, but the details were close enough that people could guess at work. Sophie found me staring at my phone again. She's posting, isn't she? Yes, Daniel, you can't let this eat you alive. How do I stop it? She's everywhere. Sophie moved closer, her voice steady. You focus on what's real, not her noise, not her claws. It's just this. She slid her hand into mine. The world slowed. Her touch steadied my pulse in a way nothing else could. The rain returned a week later, drumming against the windows of the office as we packed up for the night. Everyone else had gone. Sophie lingered by my desk. Do you ever feel like the storm outside matches your head? She asked. All the time. She laughed lightly. Figures. You always look like you're fighting a battle no one else can see. Because I am. Her smile faded. I wish I could take some of it from you. You already do, I said quietly. She studied me for a long moment. Then she stepped closer, her voice softer than the rain. Daniel, I need to tell you something. Is it? Her hand slipped into mine, her fingers tightening. It's about us. The restaurant was quiet. A soft hum of conversations around us. The clink of glasses. The low jazz playing somewhere overhead. Sophie sat across from me, her eyes shining in the candlelight. She toyed with the rim of her glass, then looked up. Can I ask you something? Anything? Her voice lowered, like she was afraid the walls might repeat her words. Do you want kids? The question caught me off guard. Thought about it. Yes, I do. Her hands trembled slightly as she folded her napkin. I've always wanted them. Family, not just someday. Soon. I leaned forward. Soon. Yes. She drew in a breath. And the strangest part is I could see that with you. My chest tightened, the weight of her words sinking deep. With me? She nodded. You make me feel safe, Daniel. I didn't think I'd ever want to picture that again, not after what I've been through. But when I'm with you, it feels possible. I couldn't stop the smile pulling at my lips. Sophie, I've been drowning in chaos for months. And still, when you say that, I feel like I can breathe again. Her eyes glistened. So you want that too? Yes, I want real love. I want a real family. Not secrets, not manipulation. Something honest. Her hand slid across the table. That's all I've ever wanted. I took her hand, gripping it tight. The world felt steady in that moment, more steady than it had in years. We ordered dinner, but the food was just background. All I could think about was her words, the image of us holding a child, building something Clara could never destroy. You're quiet, Sophie said. I'm imagining it. Imagining what, you me? A little one running around, stealing. The remote, refusing to sleep. She laughed softly. Sounds perfect. I reached for my glass. For the first time, it doesn't feel like a dream. It feels real. She leaned closer. That's because it is. Halfway through dinner, the sound of heels clattered across the floor. My stomach sank before I even turned. Claire's voice. Sliced through the hum of the restaurant, of course. I knew I'd find you here. Sophie's grip on my hand tightened, grounding me. Clara, I said flatly. Leave. She ignored me, her eyes darting to Sophie. Does he tell you the truth, or does he feed you the same lies he gave me? Sophie didn't flinch. I know the truth. You're the one who can't let go. Clara's laugh was sharp. He's a fraud. He'll use you, just like he used me. I stood, my voice steady. Enough. You don't belong here, she raised. Her voice louder, drawing eyes from nearby tables. He's a liar, a cheater. He doesn't deserve you, Sophie. Sophie rose beside me, her hands still in mine. What I see is a woman who can't stand that someone else was strong enough. To move on? Clara's face twisted, her words sputtering. You think he loves you? You're nothing but a replacement. No, Sophie said firmly, her chin high. I'm the choice he makes every single day. The restaurant manager hurried over. Murmuring politely, Claire jerked her arm free when he touched her elbow. But finally she stormed out, her heels echoing against the tile. Silence returned, heavy and fragile. Sophie looked at me. You okay? I should be asking you that? Her hand squeezed mine again. She doesn't scare me. She'll try again, I warned. Let her. I'm not leaving. Her certainty anchored me. The first time, I believed Clara couldn't break what we were building. Later, back at my apartment, Sophie kicked off her shoes and sank into the couch. I joined her, still tense from the scene. She humiliated herself, Sophie said calmly. Not us. I shook my head. She knows where to cut deep. She always has. Then stop letting her.
Ow.
Daniel, look at me. I met her eyes. I don't care about her words. I care about you, about what we're building. Don't let her poison that. Her conviction lit something inside me. You're right. God. She smiled faintly. Good. Because I meant what I said. At dinner, I see a future with you. A family. Love that lasts. I cupped her face, my thumb brushing her cheek. You're everything I didn't know I needed. She leaned into my hand, her voice soft. And you're the man I thought I'd never find. Our lips hovered inches apart, the electricity pulling me closer. I kissed her, slow and deep, and the storm inside me quieted. Hours passed, city lights glowing against the rain-streaked windows. Sophie rested against my chest, silent for a long time. Her voice finally broke the stillness. Daniel, yes. She hesitated, her breath shaky. There's something I need to tell you. What is it? Her fingers curled into. My shirt. I'm late, she whispered. I might actually be pregnant. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at Sophie pacing across the room, her hand pressed against her stomach. Daniel, what if I am? Her voice shook. What if I'm actually pregnant? I stood, catching her shoulders gently. Face it together. Her eyes locked onto mine. Are you ready for that? Yes, I said without hesitation. I've never been more ready for anything. She closed her eyes, breathing out. I'm scared, I am too. But the fear doesn't erase what this means. It's us. Something real. Something Clara can't touch. Her lips quivered as she whispered, We need to be sure. I'll take the test tomorrow. I nodded. Tomorrow. The next day dragged like an eternity. At work, I scrolled through my phone, seeing Clara's posts littered everywhere. She's a thief, one read. She stole the only man who ever loved me. Another one was worse. She's faking pregnancy just like I once did, except she thinks people will buy it. I slammed my phone onto the desk. When my office door opened, Sophie stepped in. Her face pale. You saw it too? She asked quietly. Yes. Ignore it. I can't. She tagged my job, Daniel. My boss called me in today. She accused me of inappropriate behavior because of Clara's lies. My chest burned. She's dragging you through hell because she can't stand losing. Tears welled in Sophie's eyes. I can't lose this job. I need it. I crossed the room, pulling her into my arms. We'll fight this. Her voice broke against my chest. It feels like she's everywhere. Like she's in the walls, in my head, waiting for me to crack. I pulled back, holding her face firmly. She wants you broken. Don't give her that, Sophie sniffled, gripping my wrists. Then promise me something. Anything. Don't ever leave me alone in this. Not for a second. That night, Sophie sat in the bathroom with the test in her hand while I waited outside the door. My pulse hammered so loudly it drowned out everything else. The door opened slowly. Sophie stepped out, her eyes wide, her hand trembling as she held the stick out toward me. Daniel, she whispered. It's positive. Staring at the little window, the unmistakable lines staring back at me. My chest tightened with shock, then cracked open with something I hadn't felt in years, pure joy. I laughed, choked, pulling her into my arms. We're having a baby. Her tears spilled freely as she clung to me. We're really having one. I kissed her hair, my heart racing. We're going to be a family. Her voice wavered. Are you scared? Yes, but I've never wanted anything more. 2 days later, Clara saw us leaving the clinic together. She stood across the street, her phone in her hand, recording us. Smile while you can, she shouted. It won't last. Sophie squeezed my hand tighter, whispering, don't react. Turned to her, forcing calm into my voice. She can't hurt us anymore. But when I glanced back at Clara, the look in her eyes made my blood run cold. Venom. Pure venom. At dinner that night. Sophie pushed her food around the plate. Say it, I urged. Her fork clinked against the plate as she dropped it. What? If she ruins this for us? What if she finds a way? She won't. I don't know that. I reached across the table, gripping her hand. What I know is this. She doesn't control us. Not anymore. But we're stronger than her. Sophie's voice cracked. She's relentless. What if I can't handle the stress? What if it hurts the baby? I stood, kneeling beside her chair, forcing her to look at me. You're not alone in this. Every time she attacks, I'll be there. Every time she screams, I'll shield you. You and this baby are all that matter now. Her eyes softened. But her fear lingered. Promise me you'll protect us. I gripped her hand tighter. With my life. The next morning, Clara's face filled my phone screen again. A video this time. Daniel thinks he's found happiness, but he's being played. Sophie isn't who she says she is. She's nothing. I won't stop until he sees the truth. I slammed my phone down, fury boiling through me. I marched into the living room where Sophie sat, curled up on the couch. She posted again, I said. Sophie whispered, what did she say now? That you're lying? That you're using me? Her eyes closed, her shoulders sinking. I can't take much more. I sat beside her, pulling her close. Then let me carry it. Let me take every blow she throws. You just focus on us. On the baby. Her voice trembled. I really believe we'll make it through this. Yes, I said firmly. Because love beats hate every time. She left. Notes under my office door, slid letters onto Sophie's windshield. Even left a voicemail crying, I should have been the one, Daniel. Not her. Me. I deleted it, shaking with rage. At lunch, Sophie called me. Her voice was faint. Fragile. She showed up at my job again. She called me a fraud in front of everyone. I closed my eyes, gripping the phone so hard it hurt. Coming there? No. I handled it. Daniel, I can't keep living like this. You won't have to. I'll end it. How? Don't know yet, but I will. That evening, Sophie curled up against me in my office chair, her head on my chest as I scrolled through endless reports Clara had filed against us. Daniel, she murmured. Yes. Her hand rested gently over her stomach. Do you think the baby knows? All this chaos? I kissed the top of her head. The baby knows love. That's all. Her voice cracked. And hold on to me tighter. Please, I will, always. Out. Door burst open. Clara stormed in, her hair wild, her eyes burning with fury. She pointed at me. Her voice a scream that rattled the walls. If you won't be mine, then neither of you will be happy. The headline glowed on my phone screen. Local woman exposed in fake pregnancy scam. I leaned back in my chair, whispering to myself. Finally, Sophie peeked over my shoulder. Is that her? Yes, it's all here. Screenshots, messages, receipts. She faked everything. Sophie frowned. How did it get out? I smirked. Someone she trusted turned on her. Karma doesn't need help, but sometimes it moves through the people closest to you. Sophie sank onto the couch, relief spreading across her face. So it's over? I sat beside her, taking her hand. For her, yes. For us, it's just beginning. A week later, Clara's name disappeared from my feed. The people who once defended her vanished. Her friends blocked her, her job suspended her, and even her family stayed silent. At dinner, Sophie laughed softly. Do you realize? She wanted the world to see me as a liar, and now the truth dragged her into the light. Raised my glass. To truth, she clinked her glass against mine, and to peace. I smiled, watching the way her hand rested on her stomach. To the future. The nights changed after that. Instead of waking up to attacks, I woke to Sophie nudging. Me at 2 in the morning, Daniel, she whispered one night, holding her stomach. I think I felt something. I bolted upright. What? Already? She laughed. No, not a kick, just something different. I placed my hand over hers. Our baby's already making you laugh. She leaned into me. You know what's crazy? I'm not scared anymore. Why not? Because you're here. I know you won't run. I kissed her forehead. Never. Morning sickness hit her hard, and I stayed by her side. She groaned, leaning over the sink. This is miserable. I held her hair back. You're stronger than you think. Strong. She snapped between breaths. I feel like I'm dying. Rubbed her back gently. Then I'll be strong for both of us. She laughed weakly. You're too good at this. I'm just good at loving you. She stared at me, her eyes soft despite the exhaustion. Don't say things like that when I look like this. I brushed a strand of hair from her face. I've never seen you more beautiful. One evening, we sat on the balcony with City, lights flickering below us. Sophie leaned into my shoulder. Do you think she's still watching us? She asked quietly. Maybe, but it doesn't matter anymore. Her voice dropped lower. She wanted to trap you. I tightened my arm around her. She almost did. Out. But in trying, she gave me the one thing she never could: perspective. She showed me what I never wanted, and now I know exactly what I need. She tilted her head, studying me. What do you need? You, I said simply. You and this baby. She kissed me softly, then whispered, That's all I need. 2. The first time I felt the baby kick, I nearly broke. Sophie grabbed my hand suddenly one night while we lay in bed. Wait, Daniel, feel this. I pressed my palm against her stomach, waiting. Then it happened. A small, sharp push against my hand. I gasped. That was real. She laughed, tears filling her eyes. Yes, that's our baby. My throat tightened. We made this. Out of love, out of something she could never touch. Sophie whispered, You're crying. I blinked rapidly. No, it's just dust. She smiled, cupping my face. It's okay. Crying too. I kissed her deeply, holding her close as the weight of the moment washed over me. Weeks passed, and life settled into something I hadn't felt in years. Calm. At dinner one night, Sophie teased me. You're going to be the kind of dad who cries at everything, aren't you? I grinned. Probably. The first smile, the first word, the first step will cry every time. She laughed, shaking her head. Then our child will grow up thinking tears are normal. They are, I said softly, especially when they come from love. Her expression softened. You're nothing like her. No, I agreed. Because with you, I don't have to pretend. With her, everything was performance. With you, everything is truth. One quiet night, Sophie rested against me, her hand over mine on her stomach. You ever wonder where she is now? She asked. Not really, I replied. Wherever it is, she's alone. That's what lies by you: silence and shadows. Do you hate her? I thought for a moment. No, I pity her. She chased control and ended up with nothing. I chased freedom and found everything. Sophie's eyes glistened as she whispered, You found me. I kissed her gently. Yes, I found you. As the months rolled forward, every plan we made, cribs, names, colors for the nursery, became another stone laid in the foundation of a life that finally felt real. Sophie looked at me one night, her face lit by the glow of a lamp. Do you ever think about the beginning? About how messy it was? All the time, I admitted. But I also think about how far we've come. She smiled softly. You don't regret it? I shook my head. Not for a second. If it hadn't started the way it did, I might never have seen the truth. She leaned close, whispering, What truth? I kissed her lips slowly, then pressed my forehead against hers. She trapped me with a lie, I whispered. But you set me free with the truth.